What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? What's good, YouTube? Your boys won an important playoff game. Simple enough, your boys won an important playoff game and now lead the series going back to Philadelphia on Thursday, 3-2. This podcast is obviously going to be talking about the game in totality, what we thought, and all that good. I'm not that hype per se, or at least not yet. Just based off of the whole fact that job's not done. The job is not done, we're like clearly, obviously in rare territory, but the job isn't done yet, and I'm not going to let myself get too hyped. We'll go more into depth when the pod officially begins once I cue the intro music. But I feel good. How about you now?
Man, I was almost 100% certain that the Sixers were going to lose this game. Even though we won game 4, being that we won it in the fashion that we did, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be Boston in 6. But now it's either going to be Sixers in 6 or Boston in 7. So this was like the first time, in my opinion, that I've seen. I mean, well, we've had moments this season, but overall, this is probably like one of the most convincing games that I've seen that we've played, that we looked like a championship caliber team. Like, this wasn't just any random team that we beat. This isn't the Nuts. This is a team that people are picking to win the championship. You know what I'm saying? Now, I get people don't want to say, "Oh, well, I don't want to be hype or whatever," which I can understand. We still got one more game to win. We got to close out the series at home on Thursday. 100% understandable. But you can't tell me that after watching this game, you see the potential of what this team can be. I thought that for us to even have a chance at being the Celtics, we had to have a Houston Harden performance. He only took 8 shots, made 4 of them, and got 17 points. And Harden played well, but he didn't have to be Houston Harden. Maxey pulled up 30. Joel came through with a whole nother 30 piece. And Embiid's defense, can we talk about his bro? Them block shots again, bro. He showed up on both sides of the court today, and he put on the MVP caliber performance. Like, this game as a whole has showed me what the Sixers can be if we're hitting on all cylinders. And can we also talk about my guy Tobias Harris, please? Outside of the fact that he got into foul trouble, I don't know why people hate him. I'm like, Tobias can get some buckets. Like,
let the brother
30.
Enjoy his money.
He can get some buckets, and he proved that. I mean, he got in foul trouble, which is why he, you know what I'm saying. But listen, when this team is hitting on all cylinders and everybody does their part, and can we also talk about Daniel House? What a pleasant surprise!
I definitely asked the question: will he get minutes this playoff series? Definitely asked that question.
He's definitely proven it, because I was kind of shaky on Jaden McDaniels, but House, I mean, he plays hard. I mean, he was driving hard to the cup. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot to dissect here. But I mean, I know y'all don't want to be hype, but shit, I'm hype. You know what I'm saying? Now, once again, we still got one more game to go. I get that. I hear you, but you cannot tell me that after watching this game, we got a glimpse of the championship caliber team that we have been waiting to see from the Philadelphia 76ers. So yes, I'm hyped. I don't care.
All that and more will be discussed on tonight's podcast. Cue the intro music. What's goody, what's goody, what's goody, what's goody, what's goody, what's goody. Welcome back to another episode of the 76-hour podcast, playoff edition, game 5. As the title says, the Sixers win game 5 versus the Celtics. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. You are here with your boy Ian, along with my actual main man, Nizzy Now, Jack Stacks. How are you feeling tonight, my brother? You already answered that. I guess it's my turn. Yes, I was saying that I'm not as hype. Clearly, I'm happy on the inside, but it's not over until it's over, and it would be something for the Sixers to win this game, only to like lose 2 games straight. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we
You
are.
right. You
I'm
right.
not saying that there is no bad mojo on this podcast. You already know that. I'm just saying we did what we had to do tonight to put ourselves in a position to win game 6.
Right.
Basically, and like I said, 6 games from jump. True or false?
You did. You
True or
said 6
false?
games. You said Sixers and 6.
So the only way that was going to happen or is going to happen was if they won game 5 going into game 6 at home. If I can be frank, I think the reason why I'm not as hype is because one, well, I already said why. 2, kind of like what I like to think Jared said. Yes. We're still not playing cohesively. There is still a lot of sloppy turnovers that we have and like need to like just like, nip in the bud. It still seems like we're tweaking things or like not, well, wrong term. Like we're like still falling back into some of our dumb young boy team ways, like, doing dumb passes, not being able to like close out games as much. But yeah, it is what it is what it is. I think Glenn coached a hell of a game. He put our boy Daniel House in. I also feel as though, and like I'm like going, from point to point to point to point to point. My main hype time was in game 4 when we came back with down 5 points with less than 90 seconds to go. I think that was our championship moment, or like championship hump. Either we get it done there, down 5, or we go down 3-1, knowing damn well we are not coming back from that. Do or die. Sixers definitely never, ever, 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 ever win those types of games, let alone most teams never win those types of games. Down 5, 90 seconds left. Come on now. And I feel as though once we somehow pulled out that win, it gave us confidence to like do what we did tonight. What can I say? I was right about Tyrese Maxey. It had to be his game tonight, and it was. Tobias played a like good role, being an anchor on like both sides of the ball. James did his thing, distributing. PJ coming up with like timely boards, timely picks, and our boy Joel Embiid imprinting himself as the MVP, doing MVP things, especially on the defensive end. I love the fact that Glenn had PJ on JB as well, because JB was the heart and soul of that team, or like usually is against us. I just think it like was a all around good performance. Now we have to come home Thursday, do or die.
Mm-hmm.
Treat this as if it is a game 7, just like tonight. Treat it as if it was a game 7. I did not think that we would blow these balls out. I thought it was going to be close. I did think that like we're actually going to pull this thing out. Just because again, I feel as though we were already battle tested game 4. Because once again, the Sixers never win that game, bro. We are up. We get punched in the mouth. Sorry, up all game, get punched in the mouth. are down by 5 points with 90 seconds left, and we somehow win that game. That gave confidence to us Bulls, and you've seen it tonight. Boston is sick, but like I said, job is not finished, so I'm not that hype yet. I am happy inside because we are what's the actual word? We're trending in the right direction,
Facts.
but the job's not done. I will be hyped Thursday night. Let's do this. All right, I'll stop ranting.
Yeah, man. Like I was saying before, this was like, at least for me personally, like I got a glimpse into, our championship caliber potential. Even with game 4, I kind of felt like kind of the opposite. Like it's like I did recognize that, yeah, like we came back from 5 and like 5 down within less than 90 seconds, and you're right, we typically don't win those types of games, but like for me, like it was just the fact that if there was one more second left on that clock,
Mm-hmm.
we were down 3-1. You know what I'm saying? So like it kind of felt like game 1 and game 4, Boston could have easily won those games, and they could have for real swept us. You know what I'm saying? But like what I saw tonight was an MVP caliber performance from Joel. Maxi stepping up, dropping 30, and just like really almost everybody hitting on all cylinders. Like this was the
Mm-hmm.
most dominant performance I've seen from this team in a while, in a convincing performance. I mean, like those other 2 wins could have went either way. In game 1, if Harden does not make that step back 3 over Al Horford, we lose. If there is one more second left on the clock in game 4, we lose. But this game, what, like we dominated from
From
the
beginning to
first
end.
quarter to the
Yeah.
fourth quarter. And when it seemed like Boston was going to make a run, we stopped it. Got a 3, got out in transition, made stops. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like championship caliber basketball. Seeing Joel Embiid make a turnover, but get on, he started running,
Mm-hmm.
getting back and block Jalen Brown's shot, with a bad knee. You know what I'm saying?
What a
And when
bad
he
knee. Facts. No
and
facts.
when
Facts.
he jumped and went to the ground, I'm thinking, yo, he didn't blew out his knee again. You know what I mean? But got right back up, and you know what I mean? Like this was a very dominant win for this team, and I think that's definitely going to give us a lot of momentum going into game 6. So I do agree that obviously the job's not finished, but um you know Boston with the wins that they've had in this series, it was convincing. Game 2 was a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Game 3 they basically had controlled the whole game. um but the wins that we had prior to tonight could have literally went their way, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of felt like luck was on our side, but
Oh, most
this
definitely.
game, like
Most definitely.
it felt like this was a muck. Like we were just flat out better than they were. You know what I'm saying? And it honestly shocked me. Like, I thought Boston was going to come out with a vengeance. I thought but they were missing shots. Al Horford only had 0 points tonight. 0 of
Only.
7, 0 of 7 from 3-point range. So I do expect another hungry Boston team to come out, but this is the most confident I felt about this team in a while. I mean, from seeing this team lose to Trey Young in Game 7, for us to lose to Jimmy Butler last year with the Miami Heat, you know what I'm saying? Like I was almost certain that the Sixers were going to drop this game, and I was prepared for it. Like I was prepared for
Mm.
Boston to go on a run, and I was like, okay, here come the BS. Here, you know what I mean?
Never
But like
came.
it never came, and
Never
and,
came.
and when it looked like it was going to come, it stopped. We stopped it. You know what I'm saying? So I have a boatload of confidence, and that's the reason why I'm just like really excited going into game 6. And I really feel like the Sixers can get it done. I feel like we can close it in Philly. Um Everybody just gotta keep being consistent, and who knows, like maybe Daniel House gets more minutes in game 6 because he, proved
Played very
that
well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and he's another big body. He's a decent defender. He's athletic, you know what I'm saying? And like you saw his speed, going
Mhm.
up and down, you know what I mean? So I'm very excited for this team. Very convincing win. This wasn't something that, oh well, if X, Y, and Z would have had, like, you can't even say that this game. We just flat out beat them. We were the better team. And yeah, I'm just really excited for game 6. So let's go Sixers, you know what I mean?
This is
So
very, 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 very nitpicky, but I still don't like the fact that like we cannot just like close out games cleanly.
facts.
Um, I don't know what the issue
Sixers, like
is.
you say.
Maybe it's because Glenn plays like cold guys at the end. I don't. I don't know, but we like need to like clean that crap up like ASAP because championship teams do not do that. Other than that, um, once again, I enjoyed myself. I came late to the party to like night, which is very, 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 very funny, because um, the biggest Sixer game of my lifetime. I'm not even home to begin the game. I actually went to like see
Mhm.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which actually was not a bad film. So if you
I had to
guys
see that joint. Yeah,
it actually wasn't bad. I'm not
that's what's
really
up.
that privy into comic book flicks now, but it wasn't bad. So plug for that. But yeah, I was supposed to supposed to upload. Yep, Milton was in for 33 seconds, no lie, and that's
Not
and,
not even exaggerating.
and like that's probably what did it the most. But yeah, so I was supposed to upload. Well, for like folks who like don't know, in addition to all the content that I give you with this podcast, I also along with Now's help sometimes do fan interviews after the game, or after some games. And over the weekend, I actually got some content after games 3 and 4. So that was first one was a loss here, and then game 4 where we won. So I was supposed to do a small do a small do a small mashup, and play it on the pod, but I didn't do that. So I have something else instead, or at least one piece from that joint instead that I think summarizes what happened tonight perfectly. I hope you enjoy it.
We got to stop playing with them. We making mistakes. It ain't that they did so much. We ain't rebounding. We ain't closing out. But you know what? We still won. So we 2-2. Tatum gonna get their shit. Brown gonna get their shit. Everybody else, we gotta lock the fuck up. We lock them the fuck up, we're good.
Facts.
For like those of like y'all who did not
In a
see it, I'm
nutshell.
gonna play it one more time. Sorry for the c- c- cousin. Oops.
We gotta stop playing with them. We making mistakes. It ain't that they did so much. We ain't rebounding. We ain't closing out. But you know what? We still won. So we 2-2. Tatum gonna get their shit. Brown gonna get their shit. Everybody else, we gotta lock the fuck up. We lock them the fuck up, we're good.
Facts.
Did the man lie now?
He's spitting, bro.
Did the man lie?
He's
For some
spitting,
reason,
bro.
I can't hear you. Hold up. I'm gonna take you out the stream for 1 second.
You can hear me
Hello?
now.
Yes, I can.
All right, but yeah, like he was,
Did the man lie?
you know, he was speaking facts, bro. Snapple facts, bro. You know what I mean? Like if like once we take out the two best players, like, and I mean, even though Tatum and Brown, I mean they had okay games. I mean, Tatum had 36, Brown had 24. But I mean, everybody else, I mean, outside of Marcus Smart, who had 14, you had Derek White, 7 points, Brogdon, 7 points, who's been on fire from 3-point range this
Mm-hmm.
whole series. Robert Williams, 4 points. You had Peyton Pritchard come off the bench and put up 8 points in 9 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So in garbage time, but I mean, like they really didn't get any contribution, from their role players. And we're accustomed to seeing, like, multiple Celtic players in double figures. And that wasn't the case today. With the Sixers, we had 5 players in double figures tonight. which which we normally don't see in
Do
a
not
lot of
have, right?
yeah. So this was all hands on deck type of performance, but the guy in your video is right, and that kind of summarized the game today. We let Brown get his, he dropped 24. We let Tatum get his, he dropped 36. Everybody else is like Horford didn't even score. Derek White 7 points, Brogdon 7 points. You know what I'm saying? So like those are major contributors, to their team, and we limited them. You know what I'm saying? So that's got to be the key moving forward in game 6, and it's going to be tough. It's like elimination games are always tough.
Hmm.
When your back is against the wall, win or go home. So, um, Boston's definitely going to be on a whole nother type time, but I think we're ready for it. I don't think that it's going to be a game where we have like a 15-point lead for the majority of the game. I think it's going to be a game where we have a lot of lead changes. A lot, like, it is really going to be a heavyweight fight. But I think this team is ready for it. I think this team is hungry, and I think this team is ready to make the next step and play more than likely Miami. But we get home court advantage for
The Knicks
the
are
Eastern Conference. You know
trash,
what I'm saying?
bro. The Knicks are trash. Like, there's
Knickerbockers.
no reason why like they're actually like playing soft against the injured Heat. And it's funny because every single year, Bulls want to de-eat New York teams, and it's like
Facts.
the Knicks aren't good. Like, sure, if they like beat
No.
beat what the like
The
Cavs,
Cavs.
but the crazy thing is the Cavs really aren't that good either. Like, they're frauds too, but
Just because they
that's
got
fine.
D like Donovan Mitchell, everybody
Who's
thought that they
nice?
was
No,
he
like,
like
who's nice? But it's
he
like
yeah.
the rest of their team is young, so like they really don't even have one yet. But this isn't a Cavs nor Knicks podcast. Before I ask you what are the actual keys to Game 6, so that we close this joint out at home and make it to our first. I repeat, our first. Say it one more time for good luck. Our first
First.
Eastern Conference Finals appearance since 2001. I want to say thank you to everyone who is live. There is about 5 Bulls, at least according to StreamYard, who are currently live with us. Appreciate you. Y'all could be watching any podcast or any post game show, but y'all decided to like with us. So much love. If you have any I'm like hype now. Any questions or comments, let us know in the chat. I will definitely press them. Also make sure to like the video so it can actually circulate. Um, all that good stuff. So yeah, now what do you think is or are the keys to Game 6 back at home on Thursday in less than 28 hours for your boys to close this thing out? I'm gonna
Um
say honestly a Joel Embiid, James Harden dominant game. Like, this them
mm,
two, put it on, rain it on them,
40 pieces for both of them. Like
rain it
Harden
on
dropped
them.
40 and B dropped 40. But yeah, that would be great to see. But one key to the game is gotta defend the 3-point shot, and I think that we did well tonight. Let me just check Boston's team stats real fast from 3-point range.
Mm-hmm.
They were 12 of 38, which is 31.6%, which is pretty good. That's below average. But tonight, players that normally hit a whole lot of threes, like Malcolm Brogdon and Al Horford, didn't really shoot well from 3-point range tonight, and we did give them a whole lot of good looks. But that's their bread and butter is basically have Tatum and Brown be dominant and then drive to the cup and then kick and then they knock down them threes, and that's how they get onto their runs. You take that away and then you get W's, which is what happened tonight. So I think we need to continue to do that. Number two, we got to get more bench production. We did have decent bench production for tonight. You had my guy Daniel House chip in 10 points off the bench.
How
And
long he for like how many minutes?
in 15 minutes and 10
Okay.
seconds.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
So, yeah, then you had Paul Reed with 2 points and D. Anthony Melton with 4. So you definitely want to see more from D. Anthony Melton. George Niang only took 1 shot today, and it wasn't even a 3-pointer. So you definitely want to see more from him. But when Embiid goes to the bench, that's when Boston is going to pick their times to attack, especially to go to the hole, because they don't have to worry about a rim protector or whatever. So basically defend the three, and then we need contribution from the bench and all of our other role players to chip in and hold down the fort when Embiid's not on the floor. And I feel like if we can do those two things, and honestly it's very similar to what the guy when you were doing fan interviews says, like it's like, okay, we know that Tatum is going to eat and that Jaylen Brown is going to eat, but if we limit everybody else, we good. And that's literally what happened tonight. So if we can do that like again, I think that we can, be victorious and go to the Eastern Conference Finals. So but and we both have been saying this for the entirety of this podcast, is that everybody has to come and do their part.
Most definitely.
Everybody. So, and that's what happened tonight. So if we can have another repeat performance of that, I really think that puts us in the driver's seat. But I mean, we both know that Boston is coming. So we just got to be ready. I think that we will be, and I'm very confident that we can close it out in 6. I'm not saying that I put my money on it, but I'm very confident that the Sixers will close it out in 6.
This podcast does not support people betting nor wasting their actual own cash on like sports. Me, I don't bet bread on sports just because, one, I feel as though like, and like folks have like all ways said, yo, like Ian, you should get into FanDuel just because like you talk sports, you like know what's like going on. One, right, one is very unpredictable. Bulls don't know, like, it's human beings play these games, human beings referee these games. I'm not putting my bread on no human being. Number 2, I feel as though, and this may like be some soft stuff, but like I feel like it like takes away the joy of of the game, like
You
the
can't focus
actual
on the game because
pure
you focus on
right,
winning
bro.
the money.
And I know for a fact, if I put some bread
You
on
be driving yourself crazy.
the Sixers,
You have a
knowing damn
stroke,
well
bro.
I'ma do it, and then Bulls lose some ish. No, I'm gonna be
You have a
tight.
stroke,
I'm
bro.
gonna be so pissed. So I try to
Yeah,
stay away from that, John. But
understand.
I was going to ask you, well, like first, for the last few games, I've been inviting people that I know, opposing fans on the podcast. Yes, Scott Foster definitely does finesse too much things because he's a fraud. Fun fact though, he's from here too. He's like from Delco. Fun fact. But yeah, I was supposed to have a few fans on from the Green fandom for this whole series, and I was promised that they were going to do it. But they have not showed up. Why? I don't know. Probably because they're clearly front runners and don't want to face the music, which is crazy because for years on end they have been talking mad smack towards me about how my team can't win, and I ate that joint like a man. Yet when the tables are turned, they're somewhere under their blanket saying meow. Saying meow, meow, yeah. But so if you a Celtics fan watching this right now, know that your fandom brotherhood is meow because they should be on this podcast. But I'm gonna ask you if you are a Boston fan now, which you aren't clearly, but if you are a Boston fan or if you are in Boston's locker room, what are you telling the guys going into an elimination game six? What do you think their game plan is like going to be to like try and extend this joint for Sunday game 7 back at home?
Well, for starters, I think that some people are probably looking at Al Horford like, "Yo, you gotta do what you did in Game 3," and like when you were, I mean, not even in Game 3, in Game 4, towards the end of the game where you were locking up Embiid. We need more of that, because that the 2-man game between Harden and Embiid this game thriving. Embiid looks so confident taking his
Cooked.
jump shots and that. You know what I mean? Like the pick and roll, the oldest play in basketball was,
Facts.
so I think what like one of their keys is, we got to stop the pick and roll. And often what I see the Boston defenders do when when they're defending Embiid, at least in today's game on that pick and roll, is that they give him space because they're fearing him driving to the cup and getting fouled and getting 3-point plays. But Embiid's jump shot was on tonight. You know what I'm saying? So um I think what they're saying is like, okay, we need to stick Embiid like glue. We cannot give him any space. We can't give him space to make a jump shot. None of that. So I think that's number one. Um, Number two, um, it's kind of like what I was saying. Like one of the keys to the game for us playing Boston is they're going to try to limit our 3-pointers. Like they're going to say, okay, well, Maxi dropped 30 tonight. I bet. Let's see if he can do it again and put more pressure on him, throw more stuff at him, and really test Maxi to see if he's really that guy. So it's going to be challenging, and they're probably going to do the same thing with with Harden. So they're probably going to let Embiid eat to an extent, try to contain him as much as possible, but they're going to try to make James Harden and Tyrese Maxey beat them, being that they are smaller guards, especially with Maxey. They're going to try to be more physical. So basically, try to be more physical with the Sixers backcourt, and throw and put some more pressure on Embiid. There weren't really a huge ton of double teams tonight, but I think they're going to throw more at him, and they're probably going to, go to more 2-3 zone. Like I didn't see Boston really do a whole lot of 2-3 zone tonight. So I think come game 6, look for more 2-3 zone. Look for them to be more physical overall, especially with Embiid and with Maxey. They're going to test Maxey to really see if he's that guy, to see if he's
Mm.
Hemi Neutron. You know what I'm saying? So if like I was a Boston fan, that's what I would say. Just like those some more defensive looks at Philly so that they can't just, 2-man game us to death, because that's what we did tonight and it worked. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what I think that they're saying in the locker room.
Wilt Hemberlin, Jimmy Hemtron. No, Hemi knew. See, I done messed up. Isaiah said, "I hope they don't pull a Jacques Vaughn to Joel Embiid." The funny thing is, coming into this series, I was telling I think you saying how like if there was a series where a team would like get physical, it would be against Boston. Yet I don't think Boston is going to ultimately do it. Mainly
Really?
probably because like most of their enforcers would like have to be Brown, Tate, not necessarily Tatum, but it would be Brown and Smart. Other than like those two, I don't see like any like tough skinned bulls as much who
Hmm.
would get in the nitty gritty. At this point, I don't think they're like going to be as um, handsy on Embiid as much. I don't think so. I could be wrong. And Pooh Mine, sorry if I messed up your actual first name. House over Niang and McDaniels moving forward. I agree 110%. And it's like wild because I definitely was asking it's funny because I was definitely asking the question before the series began. Will House get some minutes because he is a wing, he is long, he is big, and he can shoot threes when he is on
and
fire.
he likes to run, which
He likes to
Boston
run,
likes to
right?
do too.
Like you saw at the end, James threw a oop and the ball like extended.
Yeah, I was like, all right,
That's the type of plays you have to have just to back break
Playoff
balls.
basketball.
Pause. Break their backs.
Yo.
Once again, pause. He is atletico. But yeah. So once again, Sixers win a big game, 115-103. They like put an forcing imprint on the series. They are now up 3-2 and look to finish this joint off on Thursday night, and it's going to be Rockets down in South Philly.
They better not let us down. I swear, bro. They better not let us down.
I feel like it's our time, bro. Because once again, I knew that this team was actually on some shit. When we came back down from 5 points, less than 90 seconds left. I think that was the basketball gods' way of saying, "Are y'all going to do this or not?" Because damn well, if we did not win Game 4, it was going to be chalk. It's going to be chalk.
No facts.
So it is what it is. Is there anything left that you have to say going into the 11 p.m. hour?
No, I just hope that Maxey shows up. I think he's going to be the key to victory, because when Maxey gets hot, he's hot. You know what I'm saying? And you saw it tonight. Like him and PJ had a lot of good dribble handoff action. Hitting threes while he's moving. So I think if Maxey's hitting on all cylinders, everybody hitting, because it's like now it draws attention away from James, and James can still do his thing and he don't have to drop 40. So I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be the key. I know he's young, but I've said this before. We have to stop treating him like he's just some young bull. He's been in the league for
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, so so I get that he's young, but he's a big part of this team. So yeah, that's the only thing that I have to say, and is we better close this out, because I do not want to go back to Boston for a Game 7. But I think the momentum is moving in our direction. I feel like everybody on this team notices what is at stake and notices the opportunity that is at our hands. Like, if we win just this one last game, we're in the Eastern Conference Finals with home court advantage throughout the Eastern Conference Finals. Whether we play Miami or the Knicks, but more than likely it's going to be Miami,
who are both very beatable, very much so.
Yeah,
or at least you would hope so.
And the thing is, like with Miami, they have a lot of. I think they have, in my opinion, I think they shoot better from 3 than Boston does. So, we're really going to have to defend the 3 playing them. So, but let's not speak to that. Like, let's focus on what's in front of us right now. Like you said, the job's not finished. We got one more game left, and the Sixers better not disappoint me, because if we lose Game 6. You know what? I'm not even going to speak that into existence.
No bad mojo, bro. No bad mojo on the pot.
So I do think that the Sixers will show up. Like I said, I do think it's going to be a tough heavyweight fight, but I do think I'm very confident that the Sixers will be victorious in Game 6. I wouldn't put my money on it, but I am confident.
My money on it. But remember, we do not support betting on the podcast, fam. Especially if like young boys is tuning in. Do not spend your bread on some sports, bro. Don't do it. Spend it on some girls if y'all like girls. If not, then that's cool too. We're inclusive. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You right. I hear you.
But I think I'm sorry.
But no, like all I was gonna say is that I'm like very confident that the Sixers will take care of business. So we just gotta wait and see. That's it.
I think the best summary for tonight is on the screen below by Npu Mines. Joel can taste it. He might have 60 Thursday
That'd be
night.
Crazy if he had dropped 60, bro. That would be wild.
I really think it's going to be an Embiid Harden game. Probably more so Embiid. So I'm looking forward to Thursday. I'm looking forward to the energy that the city is going to have the actual next, few days. And it was, a very good, great, wonderful, amazing night. But the job's not finished. I want to thank everybody for pulling up and listening to two bulls talk about their favorite basketball team of all time, the Philadelphia 76ers. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any more of this unique Sixers content from a black male perspective. How about that? We will talk to y'all Thursday night or maybe Friday night if I get some content. And if you see me down at the Wells Fargo, say what's good. And you can be on TikTok, Instagram, and on my YouTube. Once again, thank you everybody so much for coming to the podcast. Stay safe. We will talk to you then. And go Sixers. F Boston. I can't say the actual F word. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That was a weird way to end, but I don't care. The Sixers got me hyped, so I'm hyped. Can't speak. Okay, we'll talk to y'all next time. Have a great night. Yo, what?
You a funny bull, bro.